Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into it today because we are tackling a deeply frustrating, frankly exhausting problem that plagues so many of us, yet, it's something we rarely talk about out loud. We're going to look at a brilliantly simple 2-minute routine shared by Dr. Alan Mendel that aims to stop those annoying, sleep-wrecking nighttime trips to the bathroom. You absolutely know the drill. Navigating the dark bedroom obstacle course at 3 a.m., just praying you don't stub your toe or wake up the whole house. If you're a focused learner who values targeted, effective solutions over endless guessing games, you are in exactly the right place.
So let's start with a really direct question. Be completely honest with yourself here. Are you waking up to pee 2, 3, maybe even 4 times a night? I mean, it completely destroys your sleep cycle. You wake up exhausted, your brain feels super foggy, and you probably spend half the next day just trying to catch up, running on sheer fumes and coffee. For a lot of folks, this is a nightly routine that honestly feels like a life sentence. But what if the root cause isn't what you think it is?
We are almost always told that this is just, a normal part of getting older. Or maybe you're told you just have a weak or overactive bladder. It's a kind of explanation that leaves us feeling pretty helpless, right? But according to our source material, the true hidden culprit for so many people is actually tension and pressure buried deep down in the pelvic floor. It's a mechanical problem. It is not some inevitable biological decline.
So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding how this tension actually builds up in the first place. We can call it the sitting chain reaction. Most of us just sit way too much during the day, stuck at desks, in cars, or on the couch scrolling on our phones. And this kicks off a very distinct domino effect in your body. First, your hips tighten up from being locked in that bent position all day. Then, your lower back stiffens up just to compensate for those tight hips. And because of all that, the entire pelvic area becomes incredibly restricted. It essentially acts like a vice grip, and pressure begins to build aggressively in that deep lower abdominal area. You're basically carrying the physical stress and static posture of your entire day straight into your pelvic floor.
All right, let's look at the pelvic-bladder connection. To understand how this leads to nighttime bathroom trips, we need a quick anatomy check.
Most people really don't realize just how important the pelvic floor actually is. Think of the pelvic floor as a hammock-like group of muscles sitting at the absolute base of your core. And this muscular hammock is responsible for supporting, everything. Your bladder, your bowel, reproductive organs, your hips, and even the base of your lower spine. It is literally the foundational support structure for your entire lower body.
Now here's what's really fascinating about this simple anatomical reality. Your bladder sits directly above these pelvic floor muscles. So when those hammock muscles get tight, irritated, weak, or imbalanced from all that sitting and stress we just talked about, they lose their natural bounce and elasticity. They push right up and contribute to extra pressure and sensitivity right in the bladder region. Your bladder is literally being squeezed and prodded by the exact muscles that are meant to support it. This makes it hypersensitive, especially at night, when your body is finally trying to relax, but those tense muscles are still stubbornly fighting against you.
And because this muscular network is just so vast, it doesn't only impact your bladder. It can trigger a whole domino effect of surprising symptoms. We're talking constipation, sudden urgency to go, or being a massive contributor to low back stiffness and lingering hip discomfort. For men, this hidden tension can manifest as prostatitis, and for women, it can cause a lingering pelvic heaviness, especially after childbirth. If you recognize any of these other symptoms, pelvic tension is almost certainly the root cause of your nighttime bathroom trips.
Okay, moving on to the 2-minute movement. Let's turn this anatomical theory into some practical, immediate relief. Dr. Mandel actually highly recommends trying this physically right now, just so you can understand the mechanics. So, seriously, unless you're driving or operating heavy machinery, stand up with me. You really need to physically feel this to understand how quickly it can change your body's mechanics. When you get into the exact right position, many people feel the difference almost instantly. All right, let's walk through the steps of this pelvic tilt together. Step 1. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, feeling nice and balanced. Step 2. Soften your knees just a little bit. Make sure you aren't locking them out. Now, step 3. I want you to slowly tilt your pelvis forward. Imagine your pelvis as a big bowl of water, and you're slowly spilling that water out over the front of your hips. Take your time with it. Finally, step 4. Gently tuck your pelvis backwards, spilling the water out the back. Make it very smooth, very gentle. Please don't force it. Just a slow roll forward and a slow roll backwards. Okay, now let's refine this to make it truly effective. As you tuck your pelvis backwards this time, there is a totally crucial addition. Squeeze the buttocks for a second, then relax.
As you tuck back, gently squeeze those glute muscles and hold it for just 1 second. This specific squeeze, it's the magic key to the whole routine. It activates the glutes, which helps support and stabilize the entire pelvis, while actively reducing tension straight through your lower back and the front of your hips. Keep going nice and slowly. Forward, tuck backwards, and squeeze. And relax.
Now, as you keep doing this slow movement, let's look at what is actually happening inside your body. You might already feel your lower stomach muscles activating. What it's doing is systematically loosening that pelvic floor hammock, literally unclenching that vice grip we talked about. It's easing the pressure straight through your lower back, it improves local circulation, bringing fresh blood flow to stagnant areas, and it wakes up supporting muscles that have essentially fallen asleep while you were sitting all day. This repetitive motion mobilizes the whole area right from the inside out.
The real beauty of this fix is that the human body responds incredibly well to slow, rhythmic movement. We are restoring motion and balance naturally here. You are actively reversing the stiffness and restriction that builds up from sitting, daily stress, poor posture, the whole shebang. Keep the movement smooth and easy. Forward, backward, squeeze, relax. You're teaching chronically tight tissues exactly how to let go.
So, will this work for you? Let's talk about realistic expectations.
Dr. Mandel is crystal clear about the boundaries here, saying, I'm not saying that this cures medical conditions. We are talking about mechanical tension and posture-induced pressure today. This isn't about solving complex underlying diseases or structural damage.
Look, if you are experiencing significant urinary problems like sharp pain, any signs of infection, bleeding, prostate issues that simply don't resolve, or if your symptoms are actively getting worse over time, you absolutely need to speak with your healthcare provider. This explainer is covering a muscular stretch for tension relief. It definitely does not replace personalized medical advice.
But for the vast majority of people, those of us simply dealing with modern tension, stiffness, sitting way too much, and just carrying the heavy stress of the day in our core, this movement is incredibly effective. It helps your body physically unwind before bed naturally. It finally releases that tight grip on your bladder so it isn't hypersensitive the exact moment you lie down to sleep. That deep, physical release, that is exactly what allows your nervous system to finally power down for the night.
And honestly, the most remarkable part of this entire routine is the time commitment. 2 to 3 minutes. That is literally all it takes. Just 2 to 3 minutes of this slow, rhythmic tilting and squeezing right before you get into bed tonight. It's an incredibly low barrier to entry for potentially massive, game-changing gains in your overall sleep quality and your daily energy levels. So here is your final takeaway and my personal challenge to you. Try this for exactly 2 minutes tonight before you pull up the covers. Do the slow forward tilt, the backward tuck, and that gentle glute squeeze. Really pay attention to how your lower back and pelvis feel overnight. Try it out and ask yourself tomorrow morning, how many times did I actually wake up to pee? You might be completely shocked at how much hidden tension your body was holding on to and how easily you can let it go. Here's to finally getting a full, uninterrupted night's sleep.